Can you believe we're only a week in? It's only been a fucking week. It's fucking mad. It's fucking crazy out there. Maybe I should just stop these and do a fucking podcast or a show or something. Right, it fucking goes. 47. So, hope you all had a relatively good new year, but let's get straight to it. I'll start off small because it escalates quickly. 2020 didn't stop. But talking about 2020, Charlie Brooker's new Netflix special, Death of 2020, got slammed by critics and branded disappointing. Much like the year itself. Because it was. What do you expect? How can you make a show about a year that defies normality? I do like Charlie Brooker, but stick to Black Mirror. Or, you know, you could reach out to me being as I hijacked his fucking campaign like 2 years ago. With a character from his show that didn't even fucking exist. But whatever in it. Did Kanye West and Kim Kardashian split up? Affair with Jeffree Star? There's rumours going around that Kanye had an affair with Jeffree Star, but I'm not too sure. Well, to be honest, Jeffree Star looks better in bed than Kim Kardashian. First case of the new COVID strain that was found in the UK has been reported in China. Gutted. Madrid in Spain is under 8 inches of snow, which hasn't happened in like 10 years. Snowing in hot places is a thing that's going to happen more. Snowed in Australia last year. Climate change, anyone? Dr. Dre got rushed to hospital after having a brain aneurysm, but fortunately he's making a recovery. Because I am fucked if Dr. Dre is going to be the first celebrity to die in 2021. A UK judge refused US judges' attempts to extradite WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange to America due to fears that it would take his own life. However, he was then refused bail, which to me makes sense because you can't play the suicide card and then ask for bail because that means you're on your own and you could commit suicide. Do you know what I mean? It was interesting to see Mar-a-Lago had a huge New Year's Eve party. Despite over 350,000 Americans dying from coronavirus, it featured a performance from one hit wonder, Flat Earther, and winner of the award for whitest rap name ever, Vanilla Ice, and one member of the Beach Boys, which I now don't fucking like. More like the fucking Bitch Boys, am I right? Got 'em. But we'll get back to America in a minute. In the UK, COVID figures have rose again because that's the norm now, and we've now entered lockdown 3. Panic buying is back, clapping is back. That's great and all, but how about paying them more money? And Gavin Williamson, Secretary of State Education, made himself look like a fucking idiot. Again. More on Gavin Williamson. It was revealed this week that BT offered Gavin Williamson discounts for high-speed broadband so that kids can learn from home during the lockdown. And obviously he turned it down, because poor kids don't count. He's a fucking weasel. But whatever. So lockdown 3 is basically the same as lockdown 1 that we had in March last year. Meaning basically everything's closed, including schools. Which of course is another U-turn by the government because they're fucking useless. Who would have thought it? Teachers, school staff, and the National Education Union were right all along. I love a good fucking U-turn, innit? But yeah, anyway. Michael Gove went on TV this week and said that we'll still be facing restrictions in March. So basically come March, we'd have had a year of lockdowns and restrictions. A fucking year. That's fucking mad, innit? So it would have been a year since we went into our first lockdown, and we'll still be going through the levels of shit that we're going through now. As a country. Let me talk about Uganda. Uganda is the 110th richest country in the world. So basically it's not rich at all. It has a total wealth of 22 billion, and a population of around 45.7 million. And at the time of me recording this, 298 Ugandan citizens have died from coronavirus. 298? Exactly. The UK is the 5th richest country in the world. And right now, in the UK, 78,000 people have died from coronavirus. Let that sink in. This week, in a single day in the UK, 1,300 people died. More people died in one day in the UK of coronavirus than in Uganda in the last fucking 10 months. That's fucking mad. It is incredible how much a difference clear and concise messaging can make. But anyway, with over 1 million of UK citizens, or 2% of the population said to be infected, and Boris Johnson saying the only way out of this pandemic is through vaccine rollout, you'd think that our government would be on the ball when it comes to vaccines, right? Well, they're not. This week, World Health Organization joined Pfizer and BioNTech to warn the UK government against the latest fucking idiotic move of delaying second doses of the vaccine. So yeah, UK officials announced that the vaccination policy would change to increase the period of time between the first and the second doses from 3 to 4 weeks to 12 weeks. And healthcare workers were ordered to reschedule appointments for the second dose. The chairman of SAGE said that second doses should only be delayed in exceptional circumstances. Right, so let's be clear. Experts are advising our government against doing this. And what's our government doing? They're doing it anyway. They're going to ignore the experts. Of course they fucking are. It's all they ever do. But also, it seems like there's supply issues. As in there are shortages. Vaccination centres aren't getting their deliveries on the days that they're being told that they'll get them. It's funny that, innit? The government are trying to get doctors to delay second doses of the vaccine, and now it turns out there are shortages. It's almost like there's a distribution issue, maybe. I mean, something must be happening to cause this delay, right? It's not a case of postmen being stuck in traffic. Who fucking knows? I'm sure we'll find out soon enough, get angry about it for about 5 minutes, and then continue to do fuck all about it. Fucking classic. Actually, another thing about this fucking lockdown. In the first lockdown, the government housed a load of homeless people. But now we have a new strain that's more infectious, and temperatures are in the minus figures. What's being done? Fuck all. But anyway, moving on. Am I talking about America now? Is this America? No way. Not all these notes are about America. It's fucking mad. So, fuck me, America. Before I get into, well, everything else, I have to mention this. Stimulus. As Mitch McConnell blocked $2,000 stimulus checks for Americans, meaning many people would be forced into poverty by being expected to survive on $600, which for a large number of Americans won't even cover a month's rent, 41 Democrats abandoned Bernie Sanders' push for the $2,000 checks. And that's fucked up. In my opinion, it seems like the Republicans and the Democrats are just playing one big fucking game with people's well-being. It's a great big money-fueled party, and the majority of the public are not invited. Declining to help people during a pandemic who are facing eviction, but spending $700 billion on defense should tell you exactly where their priorities lie. Because I don't think figures with the public. But in the Georgia state runoff elections, Democrats John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock claimed victory this week, meaning Democrats have the control of the Senate. So there is an opportunity for them to turn it around, but I guess we'll see. Moving on. So on the 3rd of January, a telephone recording of Donald Trump leaked online, where he was heard trying to persuade Georgian Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, into interfering with the election results. The phone call's like an hour long, I've listened to the whole thing. Trump's a fucking madman, but we knew that anyway. The key parts of this call are that Trump goes on about trying to find 11,780 votes, or even for him to just say he made a counting error, which is that's fucking so illegal. That's full-on fraud. A counting error. So if Brad Raffensperger was to stand up and be like, oh, I just counted him wrong, do you think people would just be like, oh, you're such a klutz? That's fucking bollocks. What the fuck is that? And of course, in the same phone call, Trump made his crazy claims about voter fraud. How can those two things be in the same conversation? You are asking somebody to fraudulently say that he miscounted the votes, and then in the same conversation, claim that there's been voter fraud used against you. This guy's fucking mad. Anyway, then on Wednesday the 6th, as we all know, when thousands of crazy gun-wielding Trump supporters rallied in Washington, Trump himself told his followers to march up the hill. And surprise, surprise, as Congress attempted to finalise Joe Biden's victory, the MAGA mob proved that walls don't work by scaling them and breaking into the state capitol. What? What do you mean they were let in? They wasn't let in. They was let in. So it turns out these Trump supporters were let through barriers by police and then proceeded to smash windows to gain access to the building itself. Once inside, they went from room to room, destroying property, wearing Trump merch, MAGA hats, QAnon t-shirts. I mean, look at these people. Racists wearing Yeezys, Camp Auschwitz merchandise, even a George Orwell t-shirt. Did they not know that he was a democratic socialist or what? No? No idea? And this fucking woman.
What happened to you?
I got maced.
You got maced.
Please.
And what happened? You were trying to go inside the Capitol?
I made it like a foot inside and they pushed me out and they maced me.
What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Elizabeth. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee.
And why did you want to go in?
We're storming the Capitol. It's a revolution.
Is that a fucking onion? Look, I'm not a rapper, so I don't refer to women this way. But she's a fucking stupid bitch. And some of them were even dressed like cavemen armed with fucking spears. What is this, some sort of budget version of Night at the Museum? Or Poundland Jumanji cosplay? So it turns out, $700 billion spent on defense couldn't stop people dressed as raccoons storming the most secure building in the country. It's fucking mad, isn't it? Members of Congress, including Republicans, were evacuated. Republicans? So Republicans didn't want to stick around and see the monster they created, no? Anyway, cult members paraded around the building, some of which waving around Confederate flags. Which, by the way, has never happened. Nobody's ever waved a Confederate flag in the state capitol building. Ever. In fact, the state capitol building hasn't been stormed since the War of 1812. That's fucking mad. It's now been reported that 5 people have died, including 1 police officer, Brian Sicknick, 1 female veteran, Ashley Babbitt, and another person that died was Trump supporter Roseanne Boylan, who was waving a "Don't Tread on Me" flag moments before being trampled to death by fellow rioters. Mate, I'm not touching that with a fucking barge pole. Or a flagpole. I try not to make jokes about death, it's not funny, but these Trump supporters are making it fucking easy for me. The guy fucking tasered himself to death. What the fuck? Trump supporters aren't the cleverest guys in the world, are they? Otherwise they wouldn't be Trump supporters. Now obviously the situation is fucked up, but you know what else is fucked up? Is the response from the police. Could you even imagine what this would have been like if they were black? It'd have been a fucking bloodbath. A massacre. When people peacefully protested over the death of George Floyd, over 14,000 arrests were made. Children had guns held to their faces and were sprayed with tear gas. 19 people were killed. And hundreds, maybe even thousands of people were injured at the hands of police. I mean, come on, anti-violent protests met with violence? Does that make sense? This is a picture of the Lincoln Memorial in DC during the Black Lives Matter protests. Armed police protecting a fucking statue. But Wednesday, at the state capitol, there's about 50 arrests. No rubber bullets, no real use of police force, nothing. So it turns out the chief of Capitol Police has now resigned, after a complete backlash as to why action wasn't taken by police. But we know why the action wasn't taken by police, because they were fucking white people. They were friends. Some of them are government officials. It's mad. For example, Derek Evans, state representative of West Virginia, uploaded videos on social media of him and his friends taking part in the raids. You fucking what? Witness accounts mentioned that some of the mob members were in fact police from all over the country. They were showing each other their badges. They made no attempt to hide who they were, because they knew that nothing would happen to them. And that is white privilege. White police were letting these people do whatever the fuck they want, while black police were being chased by them. These people weren't patriots, they were terrorists. It's that simple. Their intent was to hurt people. Authorities literally found pipe bombs, 2 of them, and a fucking picnic basket full of Molotov cocktails. This guy's got fucking zip ties. They wanted to hold hostages. They went there to hurt people, and that's a fact. And I've had a lot of messages and comments from people trying to say that this isn't about race. Do you mean to tell me this isn't about race? You fucking kidding me? Don't be fucking stupid. Crosses were erected, nooses were on show. There are people reenacting the murder of George Floyd on the fucking steps of the state capitol building. Oh, and you know, the fucking Confederate flags, the symbol of historic racism, kind of gives it away, doesn't it? Amongst all this, Joe Biden held a press conference calling for Trump to go on live TV and order people to stop. And Trump did go on live TV, and he said this:
We love you. You're very special.
We love you, you're special. What is this? Some sort of fucking joke? Donald Trump wanted this. We know he wanted this. He knew something was going to happen. He's been promoting it. This rally was advertised on social media by Proud Boys and other Trump fanboy groups. For months. They had their own fucking merch. They made t-shirts. This one says Civil War, for fuck's sake. This whole thing was planned, and everyone knows it. Anyway, during Joe Biden's press conference, he said the scenes at State Capitol do not represent America. Yeah, they do. Of course they fucking do. What are you fucking talking about? 70 million people voted for Trump. Police are killing black people in the streets or even in their fucking homes and getting away with it. There are groups of people in clubs that go out to the woods wearing pointy white hats, burning crosses and talking explicitly about how much they hate black people. 17-year-old kids are being driven to protests by their parents with unlicensed firearms and shooting people dead and going home to sleep. A woman in New York said on camera, "I'm going to call the police and say there's a black man threatening my life," when he wasn't. At another Donald Trump protest in LA, this black woman was held with her arms behind her back by this guy and was beaten up and maced and called a nigger bitch by Trump supporters. What do you fucking mean it isn't America? It fucking is. And if Biden doesn't admit that this is America, then it's only going to get worse. In 1923, Adolf Hitler attempted to overthrow German government. It was an attempted coup. And then in 1933, Adolf Hitler came into power. Then who do we know who religiously reads Adolf Hitler's book like it's a fucking Bible? No fucking shit. So yeah, let's get to Trump. Because obviously this is all he's doing. But you know who else is to blame for this? His enablers. Mainly the Republicans, Twitter, and Fox News. Fox News literally tries to say that the riots were caused by Antifa. Are you fucking mad? It's fucking bollocks. Trump has been being Trump forever. And we've all seen his behaviour. It's a lot. But let's be straight. Social media, mainly Twitter, have enabled Trump to create a cult. Twitter temporarily froze Trump's account. And Facebook and Instagram blocked him indefinitely. Which in my opinion is the most responsible thing that Mark Zuckerberg has ever done. But it's too fucking late. He should have been stopped and could have been stopped a long time ago. Anyway, 24 hours after the incidents at the state capitol building, Trump conceded. And he denounced the violence. Twitter then lifted the ban on Trump's account. And Trump then tweeted that he wouldn't be attending the inauguration. And he also said that his 70 million followers aren't going to go away. So then Twitter banned him indefinitely. Fucking good. Take away social media and you're taking away a massive piece of his power. Although Trump's only got like, what, 10 days left in office? America needs to invoke the 25th Amendment and he needs to be charged. Get him out, lock him up, shut him up. America's embarrassing display of democracy is literally being laughed at by other countries. Global leaders are now criticising America. Dictators are coming forward to say that they're no worse than America. The president of Zimbabwe, who himself came to power in a coup, said that America no longer has the authority to criticise him. The country that was at the forefront of democracy is now a bit of a joke. Like, think about it. One of the most secure buildings in America got stormed by members of the public, terrorists, conspiracy theorists. They got in there and they fucked shit up. And nothing happened. And you know, for us in the UK, it's very easy to look at America and watch it as the incredible madness that it is. However, let's not get too much on our high horse, because we're not that far behind. 792 members of British Parliament were not elected, as in we didn't choose them. We continue to let our government lie, take our money, while poverty increases, causing hardship and even death to the financially unstable. We allow the corruption. And racism runs rife. By the way, the London New Year's Eve fireworks display just received over 500 complaints because it featured a logo for Black Lives Matter. Are you fucking kidding me? We're not that far removed from America. They are our cousins. They started here. Rupert Murdoch, the guy behind Fox, one of the reasons Trump has got as far as he got, controls over 50% of our news in the UK. And as of this year, 2021, Fox is launching its UK news network. So in short, get ready to hate the news even more. Because I guarantee that the news in the UK is what's going to be used to manipulate the public into voting one way or another in 2024. And the worst thing is we know it and we won't do fuck all about it. But anyway, that's enough for me. If you're a friend of mine, please share this video. If not, it's totally fine. Take care of yourselves and see you later.